Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Lexi, and today we're doing a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for work in progress, and these videos are just an opportunity for us to get together, maybe work on our WIPs together, or maybe you're doing other stuff like running errands, just chilling out, whatever. And I'm going to chat to you, and you chat to me down in the comments. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time. So I am working on a diamond painting kit for the Summer with the Masters event that is being hosted by Diamonds and Washi and Single and Placing. I'll put their information down below. And in today's WIP and Chat, I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction to myself, even though a lot of you already know me. I've had a lot of new subscribers recently, and thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed, whether you've been here since the beginning or you're a new subscriber. Thank you so much for being here. I kind of got this idea from my friend Bree. Her channel is Painting with Pitties, and I'll link her down below. She did one of these recently where it was like a reintroduction to herself, or like a get to know me type of video, because she had so many new subscribers. And I thought I would do that too, just to kind of give you a little bit of insight as to who I am and why I'm here. So we'll get started. For accessories, so that, well, I should say what canvas I'm doing here. The canvas that I'm doing is a Van Gogh painting. It is Almond Blossoms, and I got it from Temu. I am using a pen from Swampwood. It's so pretty. It's like my favorite new pen. I'm using a Coverminder that somebody sent to me. I have a little Trashminder that I made. I've got a drill tray from Catproof. And I have a little Trinket tray here that I made. It's got a mermaid in it. But I'm using it because it's blue and it matches the, the painting. So yeah, so let's get into it. So my name is Lexi. And I am 41, going on 42. I'm going to be 42. Actually, by the time you see this, I will be 42. And I live in Southern Ohio. I think I just did the wrong color. 1 second. I got distracted. Yep, sure did. I live in Southern Ohio, but I haven't always lived here. I lived in Illinois before I lived here. And actually, before I lived in Illinois, I lived in England. I was born in England, and I lived in England while I was a little kid, and then I moved here with my family because my dad got a job in this country, and we moved, and his work sponsored him to come here, and then we stayed here. And now I'm a U.S. citizen. So we've been here that whole time. So yes, so I lived in the Chicago area for most of my life, which is why I have a Midwest accent and not an English accent. So nobody ever knows that I'm from England originally, because I just don't sound like it at all. But there's a lot of funny differences that I have just from growing up in an English family and having that influence of an English family and going back to visit all the time and things like that. There are some things that I do probably different and things that I say that are different from American people that were born in and grew up in an American family. So there's some fun little differences, and I've talked about those before on my channel. In fact, we had a live stream not too long ago where we were talking about some of those differences, and I was telling people about, like, sometimes I forget to put my eggs in the refrigerator, because in England a lot of times the eggs are unwashed and you can leave them out, things like that. So yeah, so that made a difference in my life, I think, growing up in an English family, and like I have kind of a different sense of humor sometimes and stuff like that. So I am also a nurse. I have been a nurse since 2006, and I originally wanted to be a nurse because I got really sick when I was like in my younger 20s, and I was in the hospital a lot. And the nurses were so nice to me, and that kind of inspired me to be a nurse, because before that I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had previously wanted to go into like biology and maybe like outdoor education, because I was a camp counselor, I really liked science, and I did a lot of outdoor education stuff so I worked at a summer camp, but then through that summer camp, I also did an all year round like after school education program where I would go into schools and teach kids about like animals and conservation and stuff like that. So that was kind of like one of my interests. And then I actually went to Southern Illinois University, was majoring in biology with a plan to maybe do outdoor education. And then I changed my mind and decided to do nursing. And I went to nursing school. And then I became a nurse. And I worked in a cardiology unit. Well, it was like a step-down unit. So we would get all of the people coming out of the ICU, like open heart surgery and things like that. So I worked there for a while. And then I kind of decided that that was not for me. I like being a nurse and I like working with people, but I have really bad anxiety. And I think working in that acute setting just really was not for me. It just was too much for my anxiety. And so I stopped doing that. And I went and I worked in a doctor's office for a while. And then I kind of went through a period of time where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in life. And didn't know if I wanted to be a nurse anymore, because I felt like not very satisfied. Like I felt like I just didn't know what I was doing with my life. I felt like I didn't have any direction. And I found a new job that was in nursing, but it was not direct patient care. It was working for an independent review company that basically handles reviewing claims for people through insurance, but not working directly for the insurance, but being an independent voice that doesn't have a vested interest in the insurance company, if that makes sense, to give people an impartial review on services. And when I found that job, I found a job that I was good at and that I really liked. And I was like, okay, yes, this is it. Like I finally found what I want to do with my nursing license, my nursing knowledge, and it really worked out. And I did really well. And like I became a manager of that place, and it was great. And I made a lot of friends there, and it was fantastic. Well, then I met my husband, and he works as an aerospace engineer. And we were just living our lives in Illinois. Well, then he got the opportunity to move to Ohio for his job. And of course, I was going to come with him. We actually were not married at that point. We were dating and living together. But we knew we were going to get married and didn't want to be away from each other. And there really wasn't any way that I could see me being able to move and keep my same job, even though that there's like capabilities to work remotely. I was a manager, and I just don't think it would have worked out for me being a manager of a team and then not being there in person. And so I found a job at another company that was 100% remote. And they allowed me, it was actually based in Illinois, but they allowed me to move to Ohio. And I would have to drive back and forth sometimes between Ohio in Illinois. But it worked out. Well, then, that was going fine. It really wasn't my passion. I didn't like it as much as the other job that I had just left, but it was kind of like I did what I had to do, so that I could have the freedom of working from home and then being able to go where my husband was going. Well, then, my current boss, who was somebody that worked at the old place that I was at, she was the general manager of a new company. She reached out to me and she was like, hey, do you want to come work for me? You can be 100% remote. And was basically like, you can name your price. Like, just come work for me. And so I did that. And that's where I am now. I am at this new place. It's not new, but like it's, I've been there for 4 years now, but yeah, that's where I'm at now. And I really, really like it. And I'm a trainer. And I'm a clinical educator. I get to work with my team and help them with stuff. I get to work with doctors and help them with stuff. And I help our clients. So it's a pretty cool job. I like it a lot. Not to say it doesn't get stressful, because it definitely does. I mean, that's work. Work gets stressful. It's never going to be totally easy. But I do like it. And I like the people I work with. And I love my boss. And yeah, it's all good. So that's what I do for work. But I love my life outside of work too. So I am married. We don't have any kids. And we're not going to have any kids. That is just a personal decision that my husband and I have made, and it's something that we both knew about each other, like, before we even started dating. So we met through a dating app, and it was so cute because he and we actually talked for a long time before we met in person, and we would just like talk. And we would talk like texting, and we would talk on the phone, like, and just really got to know each other before we even went on our first date. And I remember like going over to my mom's house. I don't remember why. I think I was like going over to my mom's house to like pick up some clothes that she was going to give me. And I remember like standing in her bedroom, like trying on these clothes that she was giving me. And, I was telling her, like, I met my new boyfriend. And she was like, what? Who? And I was like, yeah, this guy. And she's like, have you met him? And I was like, no, but, like, I've been talking to him. And she's like, well, how do you know he's your boyfriend? And I'm like, I just know. This guy's perfect for me. I really like him. He's going to be my boyfriend. And then he was my boyfriend. And then we got married. But yeah, we pretty much, like, we met in person, and then, like, ever since that first date, like, we were just, like, always together. So, yeah. So, yeah, we moved to Ohio, and then we got married, and he still works at the same place that we transferred out here to be at, so that's good. And he just got a promotion recently, which is really, really great, and he's doing well. That. So yeah, so we don't have any kids, but we do have 2 dogs. We have a German Shorthair Pointer named Scout, and she's a girl. Everybody thinks that she's a boy because she kind of has a boy's name, I guess, but she's a girl, and I wanted to name her Scout because I love To Kill a Mockingbird, and the little girl's name in that story is Scout, and I also just really like that name for a dog. And so yeah, we called her Scout. And then we also have a boy dog who is an English cream retriever. So he's a golden retriever, but he's white, basically, or cream color. And yeah, he is 1 year old. And he is so cute. So his name is Goose. And yes, he is named after Top Gun. That is one of my all-time favorite movies, and I, of course, love the character Goose. And I know it's sad because he dies in the movie, but He's my favorite character in the movie. And I just thought it was a great name for a golden retriever. So he's called Goose, and he's very funny. So we probably spoil our dogs a lot. We're definitely dog people. We're definitely crazy dog people. We're a little bit obsessed with our dogs. We spend most of our time sitting outside, hanging out with our dogs, and we like our dogs more than we like most people. Which, I mean, that's just a joke. It's not actually true, but, you know, we just love them so much. So, yeah. So, in my free time, I do like to play with my dogs and hang out with my dogs, but also I love to diamond paint. And one of the biggest reasons I love diamond painting is that it really does help with my anxiety and mindfulness, and that's probably the number one reason why I started diamond painting, and also why I have stuck with diamond painting for so long, is that it just really helps me calm my mind, and it helps me stay grounded. It helps me get my mind off of things, and it's now become such a habit that if I don't diamond paint, I can really feel it. I really feel myself getting stressed out, or I don't know, like I can just tell when I haven't diamond painted in a couple days. So it definitely is part of my self-care routine. It's something that I invest in because I see it as investing in myself. And so, you know, if somebody was to say to me, like, why do you spend so much money on that? Why do you spend so much time on that? Are you obsessed with that? I mean, yeah, I guess I'm obsessed with diamond painting, but I see it as a self-care thing. It's a hobby for sure. It's a hobby. To an extent, it's a collecting type of hobby where I do collect things, but I also see it as an extension of my self-care routine. And I think that it's fine to invest in yourself in that way, if that makes sense. And yeah. The other reason that I like diamond painting is that, you know, I do find that it helps me to feel more creative and accomplished, and it gives me a degree of confidence, like, and especially being on YouTube as well. Like, I feel like it has helped me, like, with my confidence and self-esteem. And it's not just myself who has noticed that. My husband has noticed it too. And he has said things like he feels like just diamond painting and also being on YouTube has helped me in a lot of ways just to be more confident. And yeah, he's noticed, like, even though I'm a very anxious person, like, he's like, oh yeah, your anxiety's better. So, so I did my very first diamond painting in 2018, and I need to dig that out. I have said this before, that I want to dig out my very first diamond painting. It was a small kit. I think it was, I don't know if it was a Diamond Dots or what it was. I don't remember what company it was, but I got it from Hobby Lobby. It was like on an end cap. And I was like, oh, what is this? I'll try this. Had never heard of it before then. Or no, I had seen it actually, like, I had started to see it on, like, either Facebook or Instagram. And I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is. And then I saw it in Hobby Lobby and I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And it was a small partial. And I didn't understand that there was partials versus full drill fields back then, obviously, because I knew nothing about diamond painting. And I got it home and I was a little bit disappointed because it was a partial, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, I thought the whole thing was going to be covered in these little diamonds, you know? And I did, like, all of the mistakes that you can make on the first go round with a diamond painting. I ripped the plastic all the way off of it, and then I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't have any containers to put my drills in. I didn't realize there was a plastic cover on the wax, so I was, like, getting mad trying to stick my pen into the plastic sheet on the wax. Like, so funny. So yeah, so I did that one, and I thought it was fun and everything, and then I kind of did that and put it away and didn't think about it again. And I didn't really have a crafting space at that point in time. We were in a different house, and we were also just going through a lot of stuff, like getting married, starting to look for a house, and things like that. I just didn't have a lot of time for crafts. I was also working 2 jobs at that point. I was working my regular job, and then after work, I was doing like independent contractor type work to make money to buy our house. And so I just didn't have time for crafts or hobbies at that point. So I put it away, and like that was all good. Well, then in 2020, I picked it back up again because, you know, we all had a lot of free time in 2020. And fell in love with it all over again. And yeah, I went from there. Now I wasn't into it as big as I am into it now, like back then, but in 2021, I got kind of sick, and I've talked about this before on my channel, but I started getting all these weird symptoms. I got really, really dizzy. I was starting to like lose my vision a little bit, or like my vision was like getting dim. I couldn't hear very well. I had like some personality changes and was getting like confused sometimes. I was like in bad shape, and I was like dizzy all the time. I had these weird like sensations in my head that are very hard to describe. I felt like I was on a ship that was rocking back and forth. I felt like I was gonna fall over half the time, and my husband started noticing certain things, like that I was like getting dizzy, like almost passing out, stuff like that. So I went to the doctor for it because I was getting concerned, obviously. I mean, those are concerning symptoms. And at first they thought that I had vertigo, and some of the tests that they did like showed positive for vertigo, which is like a vestibular dysfunction, or like it's to do with your ears, you know. And so they sent me to a physical therapist. A physical therapist who specializes in vestibular therapy, which is what they use to treat vertigo. And so I went there, and some of the tests they did were like positive for vertigo, but then other things were concerning for other problems. Like I had nystagmus in my eyes, which is where like your eyes bounce back and forth and they're not supposed to, and just a whole bunch of different things. And then I was going to neurology. Neurology kind of didn't know what was going on. I had a brain MRI. That was normal, thank God. And then, trying to think of what happened next. I had to go to the ER one night because I literally thought I was like having a heart attack, and I think it was just a panic attack over everything that was going on. And then I went to occupational therapy after that. And then that's when they started really focusing on my eyes. And they could see that my eyes were not working together in tandem. They were just not cooperating. They were like doing their own thing, basically. And so they sent me to a neuro-ophthalmologist. And that's when they discovered that I had swelling around my optic nerve. And that can be a sign of a few different things. And so they sent me for a lumbar puncture to determine what it was. And they found out that I had increased pressure in my spinal fluid. And so they diagnosed me with a thing called Pseudotumor cerebri, which they also call intracranial hypertension. And basically, it's when your spinal fluid pressure is too high and it causes symptoms that mimic a brain tumor. So I'm on medication now for that and doing well, doing fine. But anyway, I feel like that was a long story. Basically, diamond painting has helped me deal with that. In a lot of ways. So physically, it helped me retrain my eyes, because I had something called convergence insufficiency, I think is what it's called, where like my eyes were not working together. And so a lot of the exercises that they wanted me to do were kind of things like diamond painting, where it helps like retrain your eyes to work together. So like diamond painting helped with that. And then because like you're scanning for like the symbol and focusing and things like that. But also it just really helped with my anxiety, because my anxiety was making my symptoms worse. And so diamond painting really, really helped with that and just controlling my anxiety and my stress level, because when my anxiety and stress goes up, my symptoms definitely return. Even though for the most part it's under control, like the pressure is under control, my eyes are back to normal, the optic nerve is not swollen anymore. I do have to go to the ophthalmologist all the time now to get my eyes checked, because it is pretty serious. Like you can lose your eyesight from it and things like that. So I do have to go regularly to have my eyes checked. But every time I've gone now, things have been good. And I've just been trying like healthy lifestyle changes. So I try to do yoga. I try to exercise. I'm not real great about that, but I'm trying. And I've been trying to do, like just healthy diet and exercise stuff. And then also just like being mindful, limiting stress, doing my hobbies and self-care. So yeah. But anyway, outside of diamond painting, I also like to read. I like to do other crafts. I make stuff out of resin, and I have a little shop called Lexi Sparkle Craft, and I have a website, which I'll link down below if anybody's interested. But it's just fun to do, and I like making stuff. So, and I like video games. I like video games like Animal Crossing and Pokemon and Stardew Valley and The Sims, stuff like that. And I like the occasional, I don't know, sometimes I like to play things like, I don't know, it's fun to play a little Grand Theft Auto sometimes. You know, steal a car, drive around. You never know. I don't get a lot of chances to play video games really, but it is fun on occasion. I like to, so my husband and I, we like to sit outside during the summer, but during the winter, we like to watch movies, and we typically will watch either like scary movies, thriller movies, action movies, or comedies, things like that. I'm not really into like romance movies or like chick flicks. I don't know. I don't really like stuff like that. Same for TV shows. Like if we're gonna watch a TV show, it has to be usually like a thriller type thing, or I don't know. Like we liked The Walking Dead. I'm trying to think of other TV shows we've watched. I don't know. My mind is going blank now, but I don't really like that many sitcoms. I like The Office. That's like my all-time favorite show, but I don't know. Yeah. So my husband is a hunter. That's what he likes to do in his free time. He's pretty big on like ethical hunting. He does not like the big buck trophy hunting stuff. Like he thinks that's stupid. He's about like conservation and ethical hunting and things like that. And he's like really big on like safety, like hunting safety and whatnot. He's also like a really handy person. So like he does everything around our house. Like he installed some barn doors for me in my craft room. He built my craft room basically. Like he put in a countertop for me and all that stuff. He's just like really talented when it comes to that stuff. He's awesome. He is trained as an electrician, but he now works as an aerospace engineer. But his electrical background really came in handy for that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we're both from Illinois originally. Now he grew up in like the suburbs of Chicago. And so did I, but he grew up like in the nice suburb, and I grew up, I was going to say in the not so nice suburb, but that's not really true. Like, it's kind of hard to explain. I grew up in a nice place, but it was right outside kind of a bad part. So anyway. But it's so funny. So we kind of met like later in life. I hesitate to say that because like we're not old or anything, but we met like, I think I was 35 when we met, and my husband always says, I wish we would have met like when we were in high school. And I'm like, no, we wouldn't have liked each other in high school. We had to meet when we met in order for us to work out. Like we had to go through all the stupid stuff we had to go through to get to where we are now. Like I understand the concept, like you wish we would have had more time together, but if we would have met in high school, we wouldn't be together now. I just know that. So he's so funny. So yeah, so my family, sorry, I'm kind of hopping all over the place. So yeah, my family is originally from England, and we're all kind of spread out across the globe now. So I live in the United States. My parents live in the United States. My brother lives in Australia. My uncle lives in New Zealand. And then for the most part, the rest of my family lives in England. I do have one uncle that lives in the US, and I have one cousin who lives in, I think, part-time in India and part-time in England. I don't quite know like the whole deal. And then I have another cousin who I think she might live in Ibiza sometimes, in England sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. They're kind of all over the place, which is cool. So yeah, so that is me in a nutshell. And so the reason I started my YouTube channel was, well, I like YouTube to begin with. But in particular, I really do like the diamond painting community. And I had watched the diamond painting community channels for quite a while and stayed kind of quiet and like never really commented on anything, just because, I don't know, that's kind of like who I am. Like I tend to be like, it probably doesn't really seem like it in my videos because I'm like talk, but I tend to be like a little bit shy and just kind of like hang back sometimes. And so like I just never really commented or anything and didn't really get to know anybody. But then all of a sudden I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make a video. I'm going to start a channel. I want to share what I'm doing. I just kind of want to document like what I'm doing and share what I'm doing and be a part of the community. And I also feel like maybe some of the stuff that I've been through in my life and some of the stuff I'm dealing with currently, like maybe I can relate to other people on that, and maybe other people will find that useful, and maybe I'll learn things from other people who have gone through similar things, and we can all just kind of like connect and relate on some of these same things, you know. And then also I just get like good ideas. Like I just love when people like comment in the comment section and they're like, you know, you could do this or you could do that, or have you tried this, have you tried that? Like I really welcome that kind of thing, and I appreciate that. And you know, this community is so supportive, and I was talking about this in my last video. I am a bit of an introvert, but now I feel like I've made some really good connections, and I don't feel like so alone. I mean, not that I felt alone before. I mean, I have friends and family, and I have my husband and everything, but I just feel like a little bit more connected to the world, I guess, now, and I feel like I have a bigger network. I think that's what I was trying to say. I have a bigger network of support, and I just really appreciate that, So thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. I've gained so much from the diamond painting community. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Just in terms of self-confidence that I've gained, support, motivation, just the drive to want to keep doing this is amazing. So thank you all for that. I really do appreciate that. And thank you for subscribing. I say this all the time, but I just really never thought that it would be me. I never thought it would be me with over 1,000 subscribers. I never thought it would be me having videos where people actually watch and actually like them and actually comment. I don't know. Kind of like a dream come true, honestly. So, and I never, I didn't set out, there's no plan to be a famous YouTube star or anything like that. That's not what it's about. I just wanted to share what I was doing and share my thoughts, and I get to do that, and it's really cool. So I appreciate you all listening to me. So we will wrap it up in just a minute here. I do want to talk about sparklegrams really quick. So if you are new here, I do something on my channel called sparklegrams, and it is basically my version of friend mail, where I will so I have a link posted down below to a Google form. If you want to participate in sparklegrams, you can fill that out, and it's just a basic form that asks for some just basic information, and all it is I just need to know where to send the friend mail if you're chosen. Is all. That information is kept private. It's not shared with any other third parties, and I don't use it for anything else. So, yep, if you want to participate, you fill out that little form, and then each week I pick a code word, and then I ask you to comment on my WIP and Chat video for that week with the code word. And then the following WIP and Chat, I use a random comment picker to pick the comment, and then that person, as long as they use the code word and as long as they filled out the form, they will get a sparklegram. And it's usually something handmade by me, like a handmade resin Trashminder or something like that. Just a little thank you for being here. So yeah, so that is sparklegrams. So let me think of a word to use. What have we talked about in this video? I did a whole lot of talking about myself. You know what? Let's use the word diamond. So comment down below using the word diamond. If you want to be eligible for a sparklegram, use the word diamond in the comments below. And then in the next WIP and Chat that I do, I will draw names using the random comment picker. So yeah. Alrighty. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was I'm also doing a giveaway for reaching 1,000 subscribers. That announcement was made in my last WIP and Chat, so go and check that video out too, and make sure you enter on that video so that you can participate in that giveaway, because it's a good one. So Make sure you check that out. Alrighty, well, I have talked on and on about myself. I feel kind of guilty now. So I'm going to end it here. Yeah, make sure you check out the Google form if you haven't done so already. If you've already filled it out, you don't need to fill it out again. And comment down below with the word diamond if you're going to participate in Sparklograms. And then make sure to check out last week's video regarding the giveaway. So yes, all right. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, do all those YouTube things, you know. All right, see you later.